What's good YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you a rebuild of a previous Steel Path Viable build. This one's Aksomati Prime. Let's get into this. Alright, so Aksomati Prime I did a build for, feels like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I've updated it since then to make it a bit stronger, but let's jump straight into the build. So we're running Lethal Torrent for 60% fire rate, 60% multi-shot, Pistol Gambit for 120% critical chance, Galvanized Diffusion for 110% multi-shot and on-kill plus 30% multi-shot for 20 seconds stacks up to 4 times, Pistol Pestilence for 60% toxin and 60% status chance, Deep Freeze for 90% cold, Frostbite for 60% cold and 60% status chance, Scorch for 60% heat and 60% status chance, and Prime Target Cracker for 110% critical damage. I'm not running anything in the Exilus slot. I mean, for Exilus, you could run like Pistol Ammo Mutation, which converts ammo. You could also have Steady Hands, which reduces recoil, or Trick Mag for 90% ammo maximum. Whichever one you would actually prefer, really. And then in the Arcane slot, we're running Cascadia Flare, which is rank 5 on heat status effect, 12% damage for 10 seconds, stacks up to 480%. So this is actually a lot stronger than Secondary Merciless if you run heat as one of your elements, which we do. But looking at the weapon, we've got 52.8% critical chance and 6.3 times critical multiplier. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot, however, that's per bullet. And Aksomati fires really fast, so you're going to be getting a lot of crits. Not to mention 50% status chance as well, which again doesn't sound like a lot, but again that's per bullet. And when you account for it per bullet, you're going to be hitting a lot of status. So we're running heat and viral as our elements on this build. So heat, of course, is to help cut through armor, and then viral is to help to cut through that health. But we're going to jump straight into the mission. I'll show you what this thing can do. Alright, I'm going to start by giving myself a little bit of energy. So we're just going to go ahead, activate Gloom. So Gloom is something I need to turn the game down actually very quickly. Something I don't normally have to do mid-video, but I've just realized how loud it is. Alright, so we're going to start off with Aksomati, of course. We've got Gloom to help slow down enemies. Now, taking out enemies with this weapon, even for the first kill, does not take long. Because of how good and how strong this weapon is out of the gate. Ooh, nice. Now, as you proc more and more, of course, you're going to do a lot more damage. Now, I do want to quickly point out, as per usual, these builds are not meant to get you to level 9,999 enemies. What they are is they are viable builds. Now, a viable build is a build that you can happily take onto the Steel Path and go through missions with. It's not meant to be like, you know, I mean, I always bring this up because, like, I get comments, like, a lot on the Warframe stuff, like, telling me that my builds are no good because they can't get you to, like, level 9,999 enemies, and I'm like, okay, cool. Except, I do mention it in every video that these are viable builds. They are meant to be viable for you to use on said Steel Path. They're not meant to take you to level 9,999 enemies. They're meant for endgame content, but for people that are more casual players like myself. Because, like, I used to play Warframe a freaking lot. I don't play it as much right now, because I don't have the time right now. Like, I haven't had time in months to devote, you know, 5+ hours a day to the game. Which I did, because it's a great game, and I love it. However, I don't have that level of time right now. Especially when I'm playing a lot of different games at the moment and streaming and all kinds of other stuff, right? So, like, I don't have time to get to level 9,999 enemies. And I haven't done for quite some time. So, these builds aren't meant to do that. They are meant to keep you going. I also want to quickly mention as well, to help with the ammo situation, I am running Carrier Prime, which will help me with ammo, help me pick up drops and all that sort of jazz, so I don't run out of ammo as much. But to be fair, with Aksomati Prime, you don't really run out of ammo all too often, because it does come with a good amount of ammo anyway. So whilst the Exilus mod slot mods are good, they're not necessary because they don't really matter that much. Like, in the grand scheme of things, they don't matter all that much. But as you can see, we are easily rinsing through enemies on Steel Path. Like, no real issues. And to be fair, this is honestly this is my favorite secondary weapon. It is ridiculously solid. Like, it's just fun to use. It just melts enemies. Now, as per usual, of course, I'll stay until the Acolyte comes. Hopefully that won't take too long so you can see what this can do to an Acolyte. But as you can expect, it does do some work against Acolytes. Now, of course, in my opinion, when it comes to Acolytes, you do want to sort of dive between your primary, secondary, and melee just to get the most amount from everything. Like, because, like, for me personally, right, the one weapon I always use against Acolytes is my Colossus. My Colossus build rips through Acolytes in about 20 seconds. Like, it's just useful for you to be able to do that. Get rid of the stupid health leech, because that is annoying. Come here. Thank you. Beautiful. But look how many times we're proccing criticals. Like, you are proccing criticals pretty much all the time, which is insanely helpful. Like I said, the sort of 50-50 mix on status and criticals is great for this weapon, because you're still going to be hitting criticals a lot of the time, because it's per bullet. That's the thing. Like, 50% chance doesn't seem that good until it is. Beautiful. Let's go. Now, this Acolyte's actually taken a hot minute to come in. Well, this Acolyte is definitely taking a hot minute, which is, I guess, fine, but... Now, of course, you'll deal a lot more damage if you hit headshots. I'm purposefully not hitting a lot of headshots, purely so you can see what it can do without hitting headshots. Of course, if you hit headshots, you do melt in like a couple of bullets, so... Keep that in mind. Right, hang on, because I didn't realize he was bent down. I thought he was, there we go. Right, I need to take out a few more of these guys, because I can't have these guys around when an Acolyte spawns in. That's not good. Where is he? Oh, hello. Who we got? Angst. There goes shields. Do. And, oh no, there we go. Down goes the Acolyte. So yeah, this weapon on its own doesn't really have much of a problem ripping through Acolytes. Like, at all. So, there you go. That's Aksomati Prime rebuilt for 2024, and I must say, pretty darn good. You can also, I'd like to point out quickly, run normal target cracker as opposed to primed. You do get a bit less critical chance, but it's still more than viable, so you don't need to run that. I do want to point that out quickly, because someone might bring it up in the comments. You don't need to run prime target cracker. You can run it a bit more budget if you don't have that mod, or if you don't have it maxed, then you can, of course, go ahead and do that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget you can also support the channel further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month here in the UK. And don't forget I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch at the same time. Now, when I go live here on YouTube, it's more for shorts form factor, so more for mobile. But if you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time on Twitch, which is in full 1080p, then don't forget to join me on Twitch. That link is down in the description below. And don't forget, I also have a TikTok. Don't forget to follow me on there. That link is also down below.